Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the F Y'all Podcast. This is the start of season 2. And boy, we are starting it off with a bang. I'm your co-host, Michael Wright, and across from me as always, in his shiny orange season 2 jacket, the one and only, the legendary Mr. C.T. Fletcher. Pops, we kicking off season 2 with a bang. You ready for this one?
Oh boy, I'm ready. I couldn't sleep last night. I'm so goddamn ready.
All right, today we have the honor of hosting a true titan in the world of bodybuilding, the legendary Ronnie Coleman, known as the King. Ronnie is a record-holding 8-time Mr. Olympia champion, renowned for his incredible strength, unparalleled conditioning, and iconic achievement in the sport. His journey from college football to becoming one of the greatest bodybuilders ever is nothing short of awe-inspiring. In this episode, we'll dive into Ronnie's extraordinary career, his intense training techniques, and the challenges he's faced along the way. Get ready for a motivational and incredible episode with the one and only, the man they call the King, Ronnie Coleman. Mr. Coleman, welcome to the F Y'all Podcast, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you on. We just gonna jump right into it because this is a big one for us, and we cannot thank you enough. And CT told you before we started, we're going to do a lot of thanking you for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you so much, sir. So let's get right into it. Pops, you want to kick it off? You got something you want to jump off to?
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Let me jump into it. Now,
Yes,
look,
sir.
Ronnie, King Coleman, the GOAT. when I used to be training in my heyday, the cats would come in the gym and they would say, "God damn, CT, how big you want to get?" And I had 24-inch arms, right? And they said, "That's just ridiculous. That's how that's why you?" I said, "Look, let me ask y'all one question." I said, "Who is the biggest motherfucker you know?" And unquestionably, King Coleman. All but everybody would always say, "Well, my cousin Jimmy, he be a little bit bigger, and over there on 35th Street, Roger, he might be a little bit." And I said, "Well, I tell you what, when it's unanimous, when every motherfucker on earth agree that I'm the biggest motherfucker, then I'll be satisfied." Well, King Coleman, you are universally recognized as the greatest bodybuilder that ever walked the motherfucking planet. The GOAT, the King. Are you satisfied? Is my question. Are you satisfied?
Oh yeah. I'm satisfied and then some.
I know that's right.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. That's my first question.
All right, so I want to start off about your early childhood. So you were born and raised in Monroe, Louisiana. Am I correct?
I was raised in Bastrop, Louisiana, but I was born in Monroe,
So let's start there. Take me back to your early career. What was life for Ronnie Coleman growing up in Louisiana?
Yeah, I'm from a small town called Bastrop, Louisiana. We had about 15,000 people.
Okay.
We only had about 3, maybe 4 sports that we competed in there: basketball, football, track. What else? Baseball. Okay. And that was it. So we didn't have anything else, where I'm from. So I was basically on the football team, the track team, and we tried for this powerlifting thing. It lasted about a year and a half, but we had to let it go too. So, the funding for sports in a small town like where I'm from is not up there,
Yeah. So the powerlifting, you didn't have the funding for it, or just not enough people signed up for it?
Well, we had enough people signed up, we just didn't have the funding.
Funding, yep.
So the powerlifting preceded your bodybuilding career?
Well, I started powerlifting in high school, and like I said, we lasted about a year and a half, almost 2, and that was it for that. And I didn't get into bodybuilding until after college.
Okay.
Like 2 years after college. So I graduated college in 1986. I went straight to Dallas and worked at Domino's Pizza for 2 years. I think it was 87 through 89. And then I joined the police department in 89. And I finished my training at the end of 89, because I joined the police department in March of 89. I finished my training in November of 89. And where I was cut loose on the street by myself. And one of the guys that I went on a call with, he asked me where I trained. And I told him at the time I was training at the station because, it was free there.
Yeah.
and I couldn't find nowhere else to train that was free. Well, he invited me to Metroflex. And as soon as I got there, the guy who owned the gym, Brian, and, back then I had about 22-inch arms, and I was still pretty muscular. But he asked me if I did bodybuilding. I'm like, no, I never did no bodybuilding. Well, he's like, I tell you what, you could probably be, a world champion in that, And I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm not interested in no bodybuilding because I just joined the police department, and I heard those guys have to take steroids and diet.
Roddy, you say you weren't interested in
I was
diet.
both of those.
All right, but before we jump head first into your bodybuilding career, so you talked about college, and you got to play at Grambling University for the legendary Eddie Robinson.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Take me back to those times, and what was it like playing for Mr. Eddie Robinson?
Well, we had a lot of fun. Those were the best days of my life, period. Because, playing football and playing for Eddie Robinson, you get the greatest perks of all. You eat good, you stay in the best hotels, you travel on the best airplanes. Everything was good for us back then. And, like I said, those were the best days of my life. One thing that we didn't have there was a weight training program. They didn't believe in weight training back in those days.
Say what?
No. I don't know, because that's the way Eddie Robinson grew up. None of the guys that he had back in his day, never trained, never worked out or nothing. So he left it that way. He never changed the way he did business as far as having a strength and conditioning staff on. He never had nothing like that. We didn't even really have a weight room. We had a small room that had a limited amount of weights in there.
Wow.
We didn't have like squat racks. We had bench press, and we didn't have nothing. We didn't have deadlifts, nothing like that. We just had a bench press rack and a few machines. That was it.
Man.
Well, he got pretty far with his coaching. Be the winningest coach of all time.
He mostly went out and recruited to get guys that were, big, fat, naturally strong, and had good technique.
Oh yeah, so
that's what he recruited mostly.
Them country boys is a whole lot of I was born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and the population is probably about the same as where you was born. and them country boys, they have a term called country strong. And that ain't just made
there you go.
Them boys are strong for real down there, boy.
And
so
that's how he recruited.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you about like I told you, I was gonna ask you about your dad. Now I know that your mom was your heart. You was like my mom, my heart. But your dad. You don't talk about him very much, right? I want to hear about him.
Yeah, my dad was never around me and my mom. My mom got pregnant. I think she was in high school. And she dropped out of high school when she had me, and my dad pretty much went his way, and we went me and my mom, we went our way. And he was never around when I was growing up. I think I met him one time when I was in seventh or eighth grade, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That was it.
Okay, now you know what, Big Ron, I almost knew that before you said it, but I just wanted to hear you say it. I said, yeah, because my dad was in the house, but I wish he wasn't. I wish my dad was gone because he did. His favorite pastime was whooping my ass. So I was glad whenever he didn't come home, I was happy. But I had a feeling that with something like that was the case, that you and your dad wasn't close because
no, we've never been close at all.
Yeah. I
talked to him a few times in my life, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? My dad was in the house, and I talked to him. I had one conversation with my dad in my whole life that lasted over 5 minutes, and he was there. He was there. He was in the house. So, but I had a feeling you guys were not too close. And
no, not at all.
That's another thing that we got in common. And we both mama's boys, and that's another. My mama was it, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, my mom was it too for me. I never had a dad.
So let's stay there. Tell me about the influence that your mother had on your life growing up.
Well, my mom was pretty much my mom. She was my mom and my dad. She took real good care of us, and she was the best cook ever. Yeah. I mean, man, she could cook anything, and we ate like kings in my house. So my mom, she was always cooking, and especially around the holidays, everybody came to our house, to eat. It continued that way all the way until she died, pretty much. And she always, encouraged me to, go on and do the right thing. Getting my high school diploma, going to college, and after that, she was always around, having me to, do the right thing. Yeah. And she supported me in just about everything I did too. When I joined the force, she was there to support me. When I got my first bodybuilding contest, she was there cheering me on, and she was there, my whole career, always there by my side, cheering me on and hoping, wishing the best for me. Mm-hmm. And of course, after I won the Olympia, that was the end of her time working.
I know that's right. There's a clip CT sent me the other day, and it was you and your mom. And I don't know exactly where the clip was from, but we talk a lot on this show about genetics. And your mother flexed on him one time, and the guns popped out, and I was like, okay, Ronnie definitely comes from good genetics, because your mom's had some arms on her there, sir.
Yeah, my mom has good genetics, but she never worked out a day in her life.
What? Really?
No, never.
She said when she flexed, when I watched that clip and she flexed, I was like, okay, moms must be right next to Ronnie in that gym.
No, never worked out a day in her life. And that's just the good genetics that she had.
Yeah, she clearly passed them down to you, sir.
Clearly passed them down to me.
even though you and your dad weren't close, was he have good genetics too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he was a small guy. I remember the first time I met him, I think I was almost taller than him and bigger than him. Wow. The first time I met him. So no.
You said you were in the 7th grade, right? 7th, 8th grade when you met him? for the first time?
I was 7th or 8th grade, yeah, and we took a picture, and man, I had it around here. I forgot what happened to it. I remember somebody gave it to me, and I think I moved out of my old house, and it got lost in the in translation there. So I don't know what happened to that picture. Well, it wasn't a great picture, first of all.
And that's the only picture that you recall?
That's the only picture I ever took with him. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
But we never talked to anything, after that, I think he did call me when my mom passed away. But you when your mom passed away, you ain't thinking about it.
No.
Much nothing.
Nope. Ain't no comforting. Ain't
No.
Nope.
So playing college football, what were your future goals at the time? Did you have aspirations of playing in the NFL, or was it just, okay, I'm doing this college ball and then I want to go join the police force, or what were your goals in college playing ball? No.
My goals will go on and play pro ball.
Okay.
Because I've been talking to scouts while I was on the team, because we tried out for they came to the school a couple times, and we ran the 40, and what else we did? They did height and weight measurements and all that kind of stuff, and they told me that they were going to be watching me that year. My senior year, and I thought I was gonna make it, but somewhere along the line, when the season was over with, I didn't hear nothing from them, and I had an agent that said, I can get you a tryout. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to go out there and impress nobody like that. And I didn't really think I had that much a shot either. So I just said, forget it. I got my degree, and my degree was in accounting. And I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna just take my degree and get a job. Because I worked hard. I mean, I studied hard those 4 years in college. I made the honor roll every semester.
Oh, man.
Dean's list every semester, president's list. I mean, I graduated at the top of my class.
Yeah, I was getting ready to bring that up.
Yeah.
And as I was researching you and I saw that, I was like, check this out. It's so much more to people's story than just, what the public gets to see. But knowing you graduated at the top of your class was an amazing feat. So definitely congratulations to you. Yeah. Cum laude. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And I figured I could, get a job making decent enough money to, make it in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I planned to do when I came out to Dallas. And how I ended up in Dallas is my roommate, who I grew up with, had a job in Dallas. And, I figured Dallas being the biggest city that it is, I could easily go out there and find a job. So that's what I did. I moved out here and I stayed with him, and I ended up buying a car, and they gave me about 3 months to make the first payment. I like, okay, I got 3 months to find a job. So, I'm looking, and those 3 months is coming down to the wire. And I'm about a month out, and I'm like, oh man, I got to take the first thing and come along now.
Okay, check you
First
out.
thing came along was a job with Domino's Pizza. And
So-
that's the job that I took.
So you joined the police force. Was that
No.
just...
I joined Domino's Pizza.
No, I was talking about after Domino's Pizza.
Oh, okay. Well, that's 2 years. That's
Big
2
Ron,
years down the road.
Was you eating pizza?
I worked
every
for Domino's for 2 years.
Was you eating pizza every day, Big Ron?
I ate pizza every single day.
I know that's right. But how old were you at this time?
I was 20. I graduated when I was 22, so I was like 23.
And I bet your metabolism was so fast that you still had abs.
I still had abs.
I knew it. I knew that.
Because when I went to Metroflex, they took a picture of me on the bike. You know, now I'm sitting there with my abs out and I'm flexing everything.
and eating pizza.
And I could have got on stage right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah. And people, I already knew that. That's why I asked the question. I said, I bet you still had abs. Because I could eat. I was on the day of my first contract. I tried my first little bodybuilding. I was Mr. Inglewood 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
That's my greatest bodybuilding accomplishment. Anyway, I was sitting there.
And he won it with no calf muscle.
No calf muscle. Hey, I was sitting there eating the ice cream cone after prejudging. And the cat looked.
Hey, I you know what? When I got tired of eating pizza about a year into it. So what now? Let me see. Burger King was next door. And I was like, hey, y'all tired of eating burgers? They like, yeah. I like, well, y'all want to trade pizza for burgers? They like, yeah. So I started trading pizza for burgers. Well, I got tired of eating burgers for a while. So Kentucky Fried Chicken was next door to them. So I called them, hey, y'all tired of eating chicken? They're like, yeah. I'm like, y'all want to trade pizza for chicken? They like, yeah. And, you know, it was a little food court where I worked at.
Yeah.
So I would just trade, other food for pizza.
That's how you got your variety in there.
I had a variety, I had Taco Bell and everything, and I would trade my life away pretty much.
and all of this, and people will not believe it. And eating all that different stuff and still had abs.
That's still shredded.
And that's
still had abs and everything.
Yeah, I could do this. I could not on your level, but I could do the same shit when I was that age. That's how I knew that it was possible.
We have all these folks on here with the scientific stuff. They need to explain that part of it. Because the way they talk now, like, oh, you can't eat what you want and still be shredded and look. It's clearly people that have done it.
Yeah, and they are judging. They are judging you by themselves. They figure because I can't do it, then he can't do it. Bullshit.
Exactly. We got different genetics.
Yeah, buddy. as King Cobra say, yeah, buddy.
So you talked about training when you were at Grambling and not having a lot of weight. So what was more of your training process, or was it just all genetics? You just had all genetics, and how did you get so shredded at that young age with not having a lot of access to the weight?
Yeah, it was all genetics.
All genetics.
Wow. We had, like I said, we had a little small weight room that I would go in from time to time, but nothing major. Like I said, we didn't have squat racks. We didn't have deadlift platform. Like I said, we just had a bench press in there and a few machines, and that was it. And that's all I did, back in my college days.
So you didn't really start until you got to Dallas and got to Metroflex. That's when you really started going hard in the gym. And
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, I recently posted a video of you on my page, and you were talking to the other Olympia competitors. And apparently somebody had been complaining. And that's when you went down the line. And this year I got 15th. This year I got 9th. And this year and the moral of the story, Big King the King said, was why complain? Now, I learned that philosophy because I tell them all the time when somebody asks me how I'm doing, Big Ron. I always say I'm blessed. I always say I'm blessed. No matter, I could be, when I was wheeled into the room to get my heart transplant, somebody asked me on the way in to get my transplant, how you feeling, CT? I said, I'm blessed. Because it's not, hey, why complain? Just like Ron said, why complain? Now, I learned my esteemed motherfucker said no matter what, which is pretty similar to why complain, from my mama. I won't know where you got it from. Why complain?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you where I got it from. I got it from myself.
That's a big rhyme quote right there.
That's a lesson I learned early in life. You know, if you're gonna complain and nothing happened, then you got to take care of the situation yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's what I did pretty much my whole entire life. So I was like, you know, why complain? You know, if you can't take care of it, then ain't nothing to be done about it.
Complaining ain't gonna help shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, complaining ain't gonna get you nowhere. but second place.
But second place, that's right. I go finish for you. Yeah, but second place.
Yeah, which one of you motherfuckers is coming?
Absolutely. Your whining ass bastard.
All right. So you did your 2 years at Domino's, and what led to the transition to you going into the police force?
Well, the whole time I was at Domino's, I was looking for a job in my field of accounting, and I never could find nothing. And it push came to shove, and I'm like, I can't keep living like this.
Yeah.
You know, I can't pay all my bills. I'm not eating correctly the food I want to eat because I can't afford to eat what I want to eat. So it's time for me to make a change. So I knew I wasn't gonna get nothing in accounting because I tried for too long. You know, 2 years is a long time. Mm-hmm. It's an eternity for me. The situation I was in. So I was like, I'm gonna try a different field because every time I got the newspaper, they were always hiring for the police department, and now it always had no experience needed. Well, the main reason why I couldn't get no accounting job, they always like, you got any experience? I'm like, no, I got no experience. Well, how, man? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna apply for one of these police jobs since they saying no experience, and that's what I did.
So, go ahead, Pop.
I had a choice when I came out the military. I applied for the post office and the police department at the same time. Something else we got in common. Only I didn't make it to the police department. I went to the post office because motherfuckers wasn't shooting at me. They wasn't shooting me at the post office. So I said, I'm going to go on over here and fucking throw these mail sacks around. Not have to worry about this. But you forgot, this going back a little bit.
Okay.
Pro wrestling. Wrestling.
Go ahead.
Now, I heard through the grapevine that you are the big wrestling fan. Is that true?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am. Always been a wrestling fan.
Ever since
You know what, CT? You know what? You said you applied for two jobs, the police department and
the post.
You said the post office.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I applied for two other places that I didn't make it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's that?
I applied for another department. I think it was Richardson, and you had to make a 39 or 40 on the test. I know I missed about 1 point. And then I applied for another police department. It was Irving. And right in the middle of taking the test, I had to go to the bathroom. Uh-oh. And I'm like, I got to go. I can't finish this test. And then the third place I applied to was Arlington. That's one I got hired on. Man. And, it's called consistency,
Yeah, that's right.
You get turned down at one, you go to the next one.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was just determined to get that job in the police department because here, in Dallas, there are probably about 15 to 20 different police departments you can work in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and just in the metroplex area, just in Arlington, there are two cities. Within the city of Arlington that you can hire on they got their own police department.
Wow.
within our city.
Wow. 2 of them.
So I wasn't about to give up, and that's how I ended up getting hired, because I was so determined to get out of Domino's Pizza,
Yeah.
and I would the accounting thing didn't work out. I probably put in over 200 resumes.
Damn.
All around Dallas, California, New York. I was applying everywhere,
Man.
and nobody hired me. Nowhere I applied, and I decided I was going to do the same thing for the police department.
Man, I know that.
And I like I said, those first 2 I didn't make it. The third one is when I made it.
Man.
So let's go back to the professional wrestling real quick. So CT is a big wrestling fan, as am I. We've had a few professional wrestlers on this show. Who were some of your favorites growing up?
Ooh, my favorite growing up was like Junkyard Dog.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Atlas.
Oh, yeah.
The Soul Man.
Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
The American
yeah.
Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I don't know if y'all know these people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course we know. Come on, King. Yeah, I know him. Definitely know him, yeah. You got to remember, I'm 5 years older than you. So if you know him, I know him.
Ric Flair. I mean, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. There was so many wrestlers back in the day,
That's right. That's right.
Any aspirations to ever go into professional wrestling? You definitely could have did.
Never. No, that ain't for me. I don't even want to be a guest on the show.
All right. So how long were you on the police force before because did you transition into bodybuilding? That what took you off the police force?
Yeah. I was on the police force about 15 years.
Man.
Before I finally left, Because I stayed when I won my first, second, and third Olympia. I was still there.
Oh, you still there? Oh, wow. Okay.
I was still there when I was winning the Olympia.
Well, did you put in?
I would just take off from work, get ready for the Olympia, and when the Olympia was over with, I'd go back to work.
Did you put in enough time at the police department to retire?
Yeah, I can get my retirement right now. You get it at 60.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can get that retirement, and I can get my 401k. So I got 2 retirements that I can draw from right now.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Yes, sir.
Come in handy. Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 of them I can draw from right now.
I had to wait till I was 63 to retire.
No, it's 60 here. It's in here in Texas.
I should have moved to Texas.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so let's go back to the police force. So my mother's an ex-police officer as well, and I've heard some of the tragic stories. You did 15 years on the police force. Take me through that time and any crazy stories. Just like, how did that whole situation, did it affect you all mentally? How did you come out of this?
Did you have to whoop anybody's ass?
Nope, because nobody would never challenge me.
Nobody wanted to test
would test me. And I went to work every day wishing the motherfucker would. And it never, ever happened. So I would always just go on other people's calls and, join they fight, because they would challenge the small guys and the girls, Mm-hmm. They fight them in a minute, in a heartbeat. So I would just be the backup and just go in and just throwing people around.
So 15 years on the force and nobody ever tried Ronnie Coleman. Ain't that something?
Nobody ever even thought about trying.
It didn't cross their mind.
Yeah.
At that particular time,
nobody even thought about it.
At that particular time, how big were you at that time?
He was big.
Yeah.
I was 330 pounds.
On the force.
Solid muscle.
On the force.
What's your heaviest? You were what was your heaviest? 330, somewhere around in there too?
310.
320. Oh,
yeah, 310, but I didn't look like Ronnie. I definitely did look like Ronnie.
330 pounds.
Yep.
On the police
at 5'11".
And nothing but muscle. Nothing but muscle. Shit.
Exactly. The highest body fat I was 5%.
Damn.
Damn. I'm just trying to do it.
Ain't nobody trying me. I finally gave up on that.
All right, so let's talk your early days as far as the bodybuilding. You touched on it a little bit. You said when you got the Metroflex, just based on your genetics and your look at the time, they said, hey, you can really do this. When did you start taking that part seriously? Because you initially said you didn't want to do bodybuilding. So what really took you into that space to make you say, okay, I might be able to have a future in this?
When I won the first Olympia.
Not to the first Olympia? Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I was starting to say I can do pretty good in this sport.
Yeah. I mean, but you had to win some contests to even get to the Olympia.
Exactly.
What was your first big win?
I won 95 Canada.
Okay.
That was my first win in 1995 Canada.
And even then, as you're winning these up until the Olympia, you're not truly taking it that serious or thinking you had a future in it till you won Olympia?
Yeah, until I won Olympia. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
What is it the prize money that made you say, hey, well, damn, I can make a living at this?
Yeah, pretty much.
And what was when you won the first Olympia, what was the prize money up to at that time?
Oh, it was 110. It was 110 every year I won it.
Oh, okay. It's more than that now, right?
I think so.
It's 600,000 now.
Yeah. But 110, pretty good chunk of change right there.
600,000.
Pretty good chunk of change.
That'll bring you out of retirement, Mr. Coleman. Go for number 9.
I wish. I wish. But I also had endorsement with Weeder, so I was making a couple $100,000 there too, and I had a lot of endorsements. I was making easily $1 million, with endorsements and everything.
Yeah, you was on the cover of every fucking thing. And,
exactly.
You look in a magazine, you go, hey, every page is gonna be Ronnie Coleman.
Yep. As a kid growing up, we looked at the magazine covers. We always looked at professional wrestlers as superheroes and bodybuilders as superheroes. So to see Ronnie Coleman on the front of a magazine as a kid, I'm looking at this like you were a real life superhero. And again, it was, because some of my favorite wrestlers growing up were Ron Simmons and, like you said, Junkyard Dog, all of these people. But to see a Ronnie Coleman on the front of a magazine, I just remember looking at me and my friends like, we didn't even think it was humanly possible for somebody to look the way that you did. Yeah. And I remember we would just sit there in awe, like, where do they make these guys at?
What I said when I looked at, because every normal motherfucker, I don't care who they got some flaws. You gonna find a flaw in the motherfucker somewhere if you look hard enough. God damn it, King Coleman. I couldn't find a flaw on your ass. I mean, how you gonna have both bicep peaks just ridiculously split, Mount Everest, Mount Bicepius, on both arms? Now, you usually, Arnold had, people gonna get mad at me, but he had one good arm that had a peak and shit on it, and the other one, I know they mad at me. I don't give a fuck. Y'all get mad if you want to. But King Coleman, both goddamn arms equally peaked, backspread ridiculous, and tiny ass waistline and calves. I couldn't find a fucking flaw nowhere, and I think that's why.
That's because I worked hard on everything.
Yeah, that's goddamn right. I think that's why you the GOAT, the greatest of all time. You can't find a fucking flaw.
Because your waist was 29 inches.
You know what they say, CT? You know what they say? You never see. If you have passion for something, you never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
And I had a ton of passion for working out.
Now,
A ton. And I look forward to working out each and every single day.
Man, now see, you say passion, and I call it something else, Big Ron. I call it obsession. I call it my motherfucking magnificent obsession. I tell everybody,
Same difference.
hell yes, absolutely. If you want to be the best now, the absolute best at any fucking thing, I don't care if it's flipping them goddamn pizzas at Domino's, whatever, you want to be the best pizza flipping motherfucker, you're going to have to be obsessed with that shit. And
Exactly.
when I watch the training videos, I say, that motherfucker is obsessed. That is with bodybuilding, with the lifting, the incredible. I think another thing that separates, besides having no fucking flaws, what you was strong as fuck. You had,
Yeah.
I mean, that also is another
Natural,
thing.
I had that natural strength. Yeah.
To say that, well,
People don't understand that. They don't understand that.
That's
I could deadlift 750 naturally.
Yep. And boy, let me tell you, that's strong as fuck. Because I was
Exactly.
strong as fuck. Now, Big Ron, I ain't gonna lie. That was my thing, being strong. And I never did lift the 750. I did lift because I didn't deadlift. But I went over there and they just, hey, CT, let's see you there. I went over there to see, I just pull the shit to see what I could pull. And I was able to deadlift 650. And
That's good.
that, you know, but you know what? I damn near shit on myself. And I say, you know what? I don't need to do no more deadlifts. Fuck them deadlifts. And you deadlifting, it's once in a lifetime that somebody comes along that obsessed, that phenomenally strong naturally. You had all the ingredients to be exactly what you were, and that is the greatest bodybuilder to ever walk the fucking planet. Everything aligned. I mean, the genetics, symmetry, strength, and a fucking mental obsession with what you love to do. You put all this shit together, and you're going, goddamn, you got the best. You got the GOAT.
Well, you know that thing. It's another thing they say. There are those who are blessed by God, and there are those who are touched by God. I think I was one of those touched by God.
Most definitely. Because all that shit don't come together in the same package. You don't get all that shit in the same package. You get some of it.
Exactly.
Some of it.
Exactly. There you go.
Get all of that.
So I gotta ask you,
Definitely touch.
because nobody picks ourselves apart more than we do. So you're doing all of that work. Was there anything that you thought was a flaw on you that you just like, I just gotta like, was there a certain part of your body that's like, you just felt like you had to put extra work in that you just were not happy with, or because like I said, we look at you, we're like, perfect.
Flawless.
Was there anything about you doing your time of competing that you just like, I just gotta work on this?
Yeah, all my body parts.
Whoa. Never satisfied. Never satisfied.
Exactly.
And you know,
Never satisfied.
That's one of my goddamn, another thing I say, satisfaction is the end of progress. Once you begin.
I'm gonna tell you what, there was one body part that I was satisfied with.
Uh-oh.
And that was my biceps. I quit training them for like 2 years.
Whoa, hold back up. You didn't train biceps for 2 years?
Yep.
What the
Yep. I didn't train biceps for 2 years because I figured, you know what? I got all. I'm satisfied with all my other body parts. I'm satisfied with my biceps. I got to work on all my other body parts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can work biceps indirectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But all these other ones I can't. So I'm gonna not train them and concentrate on everything else. Yeah. And that's what I did.
Hey, that strategy worked like a motherfucker. Because you're right. I mean, anytime you're doing any kind of pulling move or pull up any back shit, when you got to do some pulling, it's going to hit them biceps indirectly.
It's going to hit the biceps. Yep. So why am I going to waste my time training that?
Yeah. Hey, like I said, when you got two Mount Bicepius fucking peaks and shit like that, I wouldn't work the motherfuckers either.
Exactly.
Yep,
sure did.
So
2 body parts I didn't train, biceps and triceps. I like, okay, I'm working them indirectly. I don't need to. I'm gonna concentrate on everything else, and that's what I did. I mean, for legs, I had, you know what, for legs, I wasn't even satisfied with them, so I started training them twice a week. I was doing front squats, hack squats, regular squats. I was doing any kind of squat I could, to get my legs bigger.
Them famous walking lunges.
Them famous walking lunges. Yep. I did them every week, I did that. It was snowing outside one time. I was like, oh no, you ain't get me, Mr. Snow. I'm finna get out here and slip and slide all over you.
and get this shit done.
And I was outside slipping and sliding, doing my walking lunges.
When we have people on this show, the one thing I always get a kick out of is how much a lot of the guests we had on share some of the same mentality as this man. I've heard this man say over and over again, he didn't care what it was. Birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, he didn't care what it was. He was not missing a workout. He didn't care what it was. Kids' birthdays, nothing. He was not missing that shit. Where did that passion come from? Was that just something you always had, or was it once you got into bodybuilding, it was just like, this is the thing I'm going to do?
No, that's something I developed when I was about 14 years old. That's when I fell in love with, working out. And I think we started powerlifting about 15. So from there on the end, I was hooked. And like I said, they didn't have a when I was in college, they didn't have a training program, a workout program. But they had a gym, and they would open it from like 5 to 6 in the morning. So I had to get up at like 4, and I was there every morning at 5 o'clock working out.
It's it.
Doing something,
Yep.
I was in there by myself. I was working out.
I spent a many days in the gym by my damn self. And you know what, Big Ron? I didn't give a damn. I didn't care if nobody
I didn't either.
It's funny you bring that up because when I watched your Club Shay Shay interview, Shannon asked you, do you ever get tired of working out by yourself? And you said no.
Nope.
So even to this day, you still like working out by yourself?
I still work out by myself.
Yeah, that's one training partner you can definitely depend on.
Was that by design, or is that just you're more comfortable working out by yourself?
Oh, no. I can't never depend on nobody. The best workout partner I've ever had was my girlfriend.
Okay.
We was together for like 6 years, 7 years, something like that. And that was the best workout partner I ever had.
Was it that other people they didn't train as hard as you, or they just like, oh, I'm going to go this day, I'm not going to go this day?
Well, they got interruptions, they got jobs, and all this kind of, they got excuses, Well, they got jobs. I'll just say it like that.
They had other shit to do that was priority over that workout.
Exactly. Not me. Never.
Yeah, well, that's the two things y'all got in common. Because clearly nothing stood in the way of this man working out either. Because when he talked, I was like, wait, hold on. You missing the kid's birthday? I ain't give a damn what day it was.
I show up at the party after I work out.
Exactly.
Well, I'm gonna get that workout.
Yep, that's me. That's me too. Right there with you.
That's it.
All right. So what? How are you training now? So are you? How often are you training now? You still 3, 4, 5 days a week?
6 days a week.
Damn. We got you know what? You more obsessed than I was. You got me beat. Yeah, no,
still 6 days a week.
6 days a week. Boy.
I love that you still have that passion for this. Like, with everything you've been through with your health and all of that stuff, to see you still in it. I told CT the other day, when I was researching you and I was watching that interview, I said that particular day it was my one day off from work. So I'm sitting at home trying to get ready for this interview. I said, Pops, watching you work out like that to this day with everything that you've been through, I said, I felt like a complete slacker that day. I said, I called myself prepping for this interview, but I need to get my ass up and get in this damn gym. Because Ronnie Coleman in this damn gym. Let me get my ass up and get to this damn gym.
Yep.
You got anything else for we?
Yeah. This. I got to get this in this segment here. There was a cat made a post about you, and I'm gonna tell you something. I don't mind motherfuckers talking about me. They can say whatever the fuck they want to. They're gonna do it anyway. Talk about me all you want to. But this motherfucker made a post and he showed you, and he showed you working out, nowadays, and he showed you in your heyday and saying, and this motherfucker, first of all, I'm gonna tell you, if he didn't tell somebody that he worked out, you would never know. If you gotta tell a motherfucker you work out and they can't tell, you've been working out for 5 years, motherfucker, nobody know you've been working out unless you tell them you've been wasting your goddamn time. But anyway, this what the motherfucker looked like. And he had, oh man, if Ronnie he worked out like this, and if he was working out wrong, and if he had did, Big Ron, I wanted to fly to wherever that motherfucker was at and whoop his ass. At 65, not when I was young. I wanted to fly over there and whoop his ass now. Now that disturbed the fuck out of me. But this motherfucker ain't got a muscle nowhere on his bitch-made body to be talking about the king, the GOAT of bodybuilding, saying that his workout methods was the way he worked out caused him all these problems. And I was mad. I was so mad at that motherfucker. Does shit like that bother you?
Not at all. Not one bit.
You know what?
That saying, "The sticky tongue break a bone, word never hurt me." Yeah. That's me.
Oh, that's all right. I'm bothered for you.
Yeah,
because I'm not bothered at all.
We had Flex on it. We told Flex
never got to me. Never would anybody say.
Yep, that's the thing. It's two people. He told Flex. We told Flex the same thing. When he see people talking shit about you and Flex Wheeler, he gets amped up.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to slap the taste out of motherfucker's mouth with it.
I don't even read what they say about me anyway.
Good.
So you're not when it comes to social media, you're not reading the comment section and none of that stuff.
No, I don't read the comment section.
Good.
I don't even read my own comment section.
Well, I will say this. I'd say 99% of it is all positive. But every now and then you go have some weirdo that's gonna jump in there and got something to say who has never accomplished 0.5% of anything you've ever done, but got something to say about it. Because I feel the same way when people start talking about CT. Oh, CT old. That ain't the same CT I saw 20 years ago. Well, who is?
Exactly.
So I get amped
we
up
all
talking about him.
One day or another. That's a blessing.
That's the thing. I think people, especially when you hold people in such high regard, you get this perception in your mind that they're not supposed to age. And they're just going to stay the same way that you remember seeing them for the first time. And that's just not how the world operates. It's just not how the world operates. So like I said, I get that all the time. People just like, I didn't know CT Fletcher had a podcast. That don't look like the CT Fletcher from 20 years ago. Like, dumb. Like, he ain't gonna look like him.
How did CT look 20 years ago?
They be like, damn, Pops, you got old. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. And I'm happy. I'm glad I got old. Goddamn, I'm glad to still be here. But
like I said, that's a blessing.
Yeah. Yep. Right. Shit, I'm glad I'm still around for you to talk shit about.
Exactly.
All right. So before we end segment 1, I do want to ask you a question. So you had some very intense training. So one thing that CT has talked about for years that he still gets a lot of shit for these days is overtraining. So I gotta ask Ronnie Coleman, what is your views on overtraining? Or do you believe there's a such thing as overtraining?
Well, I don't believe in that. What's that?
Hell yeah. Woo. Hey, that's the opening clip.
That's the opening clip.
That's the opening clip right there. Yes.
This man to this day gets so much shit from people about overtraining.
Joe Rogan and everybody else.
I don't know what they mean by that.
Shit, me either. I told him ain't no such thing. What the fuck you talking about?
Is that the case? I guess I overtrained too then.
Yeah, if it was fucking possible, Ronnie Coleman would have done it, goddamn it. Do you see his videos?
Exactly.
If overtraining was possible, he would have done it.
I've been training for about 48 years now.
Yeah.
And I still look forward to going to the gym each and every single day.
Goddamn.
That's the thing that kind of, I'm not gonna say irks me, but it makes me wonder when, and I'm not saying that the scientific part of it doesn't play a part in it, but when they say you can overtrain, or if you overtrain, this is going to happen. But then you look at people like CT, you look at people like yourself, like how can you say overtraining is a bad thing when especially you was the greatest bodybuilder ever? I don't understand how people can look at you or look at the feat CT did and say overtraining is bad. But clearly people are doing it.
I can't either.
I don't understand.
I can't either.
You know, they are putting you, they judging you again by their standards. They're judging
there you go.
They're judging the GOAT by their standards. Oh, I could never do that. Oh, my back hurt just watching him doing that. I said, motherfucker, that ain't your back hurting. That's your vagina hurting right there, motherfucker. That's why they sit there, you watching him and making your back hurt. Man, you shut your pussy ass up talking that shit. It upset me. Bro.
That's probably why I don't train people, CT.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was a terrible personal trainer. I was a terrible personal trainer.
I would be too.
I was terrible.
It was just more that
I can guarantee you I would be.
It was just more for you. It was just more that you just felt like they weren't training this hard, or what made you a bad personal trainer?
Because a whining ass motherfucker got on my nerves real bad. I give him a refund. Yeah, take it. And I needed the money too bad, Big Ron. I needed the money because that was my only income at the time. Was being a personal trainer. And they would come in there and they started whining and shit, and I'd be like, hey, take your money back, man. You wasting my time and yours. Go on back home. Shit. So I didn't have very many customers.
I've been doing that every day then.
All right, well, that's a perfect place to end it for session 1. We're going to come back. Stay tuned. Part 2 is coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We got more with the GOAT, the King, Ronnie Coleman.